Good evening, everybody. David Paul with you in the KHOU 11 Weather Center. It is Tuesday evening. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for our daily tropical update. And it's semi-busy out there. We have one hurricane. It is Ian, Cat 2. The storm was a Cat 5 at one point, but now down to a Cat 2. And that's the only game in town. There are a couple of other waves that we're watching, but at the moment, models are not aggressively developing them. We'll take a look at all the modeling on that in just a moment. The storm itself is getting a little better organized this evening, getting a little bit more symmetry. Forecasting on this does not increase the intensity, leaves it at Cat 2. After going Cat 5, end of last week, going into the weekend, the storm began to go through an eye wall replacement cycle. And when that happened, the eye got a little disrupted and the wind field began to spread out. When the wind field spreads out in these hurricanes, it's very, very difficult to get it to come back in and re-intensify to Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5. So Cat 2 is probably where this is going to stay, although it is looking a little bit more symmetrical. There is no eye anymore. The eye has been disrupted, but we'll watch and see if that's able to regain that. I wanted to show you this. This is the ocean heat content. It's the amount of energy, not just at the surface with sea surface temperature, but how deep the warm water goes. And look at the scar in the ocean heat content that the storm has scoured out as it used all the energy at the surface and at depth to become Cat 4, Cat 5 right in here. When it was Cat 5, it just literally vacuumed all the energy available out of the water there. That's a combination. That's not just a function of the warm water. The warm water has to be there for the energy. But it got into a spot where the upper level winds were very, very light. They were really good for rapid intensification. And so you had the perfect ingredients where light upper level winds, an incredible amount of heat energy, ocean heat content available, and it just scoured it out. It ate it all up. So at the moment, we have a lot less energy in this spot available for the next storm, if we get another one here, to feed off of. Why is it going the way it's going? It's going in between two mountain ranges, basically. You've got one mountain of high pressure here, another mountain of high pressure here. In between, you have the valley. So think of a wagon train. They would try to go through all the mountain valleys, not go over the steep mountain peaks. And that's exactly what the storm is going to do, taking a path in between the two as the storm splits the difference between the two mountains. Basically, storms are like electricity. They want to take the path of least resistance. And in between the two mountain ranges is where this one is going to go. That's why the forecast has continued to be very, very steady, taking it to the north and northeast and bending it off to the right in between the two areas of high pressure. So Erin's actually been an interesting storm to watch forecast-wise. This is the actual path that the storm has taken over the past week to 10 days, turning before it made landfall near the islands and passing north of San Juan, Puerto Rico, thank goodness. But it's interesting to overlay the historical forecast path. So in other words, how good has the forecast cone been compared to what's actually happened? And the storm, basically they've nailed it. The storm has stayed within the cone during the last week to 10 days, and it still continues to stay within the cone. But there is a very interesting trend that Erin has had in its forecast history. It has been hugging the right-hand side of the forecast cone. Now remember, statistically, within the cone, anywhere in the cone, you have the same chance of the storm being on the right-hand side as you do on the left-hand side. Statistically, the same chance. But at least this time, the actual track has stayed to the left-hand side of the forecast cone. And it kind of continues to do that. As we head through the weekend, forecast had the center. If it were to stay in the center of the cone, the storm would be out here. But it's not. It stayed way on the left-hand side of the cone. Again, statistically, it's the same forecast. But it is something worth looking at to see these trends. And we go forward in time. You see the current forecast, and we'll have to wait and see if it stays on the left-hand side or centers up. But either way, anywhere within that cone, again, it's the same chance. It's a 66% chance that it stays inside that cone. That path misses Bermuda, and it misses the East Coast. However, even though we've weakened to a Cat 2, anytime a hurricane becomes Cat 4, Cat 5, the amount of wave energy and now the size of the wind field is just picking up a huge amount of storm surge and wave action. And a lot of that is going to end up on the East Coast. Even though the track keeps it offshore, that's the official forecast track from the Hurricane Center. Again, right now, winds are at 105 sustained. This is the 7 o'clock advisory, moving northwest at 10, pressure at 959 millibars. Cat 2 hurricane, but at one point it was a Cat 5, so the wind field now has spread out, and it's just huge. This is very much like when we had, let's see, in 05, Hurricane Ike. When at one point through the Caribbean, the storm was Cat 4 as it came through the Bahamas, then hit the north side of Cuba. It came in as a Cat 4. It hit Cuba, which weakened the storm, but it expanded the size of the wind field, and that is what gave Category 2 Ike the Category 4 or 5 storm surge that devastated our coastline. So that's what we have here. Cat 2 strength by wind, but Cat 5 strength as far as surge. Now, it's going to be offshore, so the East Coast won't take a direct hit from the surge, but they are going to get a tremendous amount of surf. And the waves here on the Outer Banks of North Carolina and getting up into the Delmarva, they're going to be 10, 15, 20, 25 feet swells on the beaches. And that is going to send a ton of water up into low-lying roads, low-lying areas. So there will be a tremendous amount of coastal flooding here as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, even though the storm is well off the East Coast. Here is the wave height forecast, the modeling on this. You know, even South Carolina, 12-foot waves, 17-foot, 19, Cape Hatteras, 23-foot swells expected out here on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, while the center of the storm is well offshore. With wave heights out here, they'll be above 30 feet. They'll be above 30 feet out there. Just trying to imagine 30-foot swells out there. So this is why they've closed the beaches. They already closed the beaches here. Incredible surf. Surfers were out there today. I think, you know, it's really at your own risk now. But you can see even up north of North Carolina, you've got 11-foot swells, 13-foot swells, you know, 10 to 12 feet on the Jersey Shore. Just don't want a lot of population out there when you have that type of wind, which will be breezy. They'll have near tropical storm force winds here, and then those big swells coming in. There'll be a lot of coastal flooding, and even on the coast of Long Island, the Atlantic-facing beaches there are going to see 10 to 12-foot waves on the coast. So that will be a tremendous wave maker, and it will cause coastal issues. Okay, so big picture. There's Erin, tropical wave, and you can see the Hurricane Center has a 30 and 60% chance that those waves develop. What you also see, which is the first thing I look at, there's nothing threatening the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico. That's very good. So at the moment we have nothing bearing down or threatening the Houston area. Again, even though things are quiet now, we take it one day at a time and take that seriously. Things really can change in 24 hours out here. So let's look at the modeling on this. Again, there's Erin, tropical wave 1, tropical wave 2. Tropical wave 2's got a little bit of flare up of thunder showers out here. Not much going on with wave 1. And you can see how quiet the Caribbean and the Gulf are. So American and European model running simultaneously. It's got Erin, splits the uprights between Cape Hatteras and Bermuda. You see the two different solutions running simultaneously, but basically the same outcome. Off it goes into the North Atlantic. Here's what else you see. Neither the American nor the European, I also looked at the AI, the experimental AI, none of those develop any of wave 1 or wave 2. They just don't grab onto it. Doesn't mean it can't develop, but the modeling says no development on either of those. So that's through next Friday, August the 29th. That goes way out there. So models say, nope, we'll watch it one day at a time. Mother Nature can do whatever she wants. But the guidance is that nothing's going to develop and those two waves won't develop as we head through the week. Keep a close eye on it. Houston. So we have an active weather pattern. This is from disturbances coming in from the northeast on the upper level flow combined with abundant heat in the afternoon and plenty of moisture. So we're going to have a lot of thunderstorms as we head through tomorrow and Thursday. 96 is the high temp tomorrow, 70% chance for afternoon thunderstorms. On Wednesday, what are your plans? And between 1 and 4, we're going to see widespread active rain and thunderstorms. Some of those could be quite strong. And so because of that, we have put in a weather impact alert for the hours of 1 o'clock through 7 o'clock. Tomorrow evening, widespread rain and thunderstorms are likely, definitely impacting travel, reducing visibility. Small hail, gusty straight line wind, and blinding rain at times will be possible on Wednesday. So again, 1 p.m. through 7 p.m. tomorrow, good chance for rain and thunderstorms. Just plan on it. And then looking at the extended forecast, we may have to do it again as we head into Thursday. We're going to keep a 70% chance for rain and thunder again on Thursday. And then we'll back off, but the rain chances don't go away in this summer that just seems to have a chance for a thunder shower almost every afternoon. And that continues Friday, Saturday, and Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. That is where we stand. Our next live broadcast is tonight at 10 o'clock on KHOU 11 News at 10. And then in the morning, 5 to 7 on KHOU 11 Morning News. And then again, an update on Plus from 7 to 9 tomorrow morning. And one more thing, tomorrow we're going to air our hurricane special, Surviving the Next Storm. That will be at 6:40 tomorrow evening on Plus. So we'll do the 6 o'clock news live. We'll do the 10-minute update, complete weather update, local, and a peek at the tropics. And then right on the heels of that, right at 6:40, stay tuned on Plus. We'll put up our hurricane special and be going over everything you need to know to be prepared, to be ready for whenever the next storm hits us, from evacuation plans, how to do it, where to go, what to bring, what you're going to need to have with you if you're staying home and riding out the storm at home, and just a lot of local knowledge of all the storms we've gone through, so that everybody's prepared for whenever that is that we get hit by the next storm. Again, that's tomorrow at 6:40 in the evening. We'll see you on our next live broadcast tonight at 10.